Greetings, my friends, and welcome back. Rush Limbaugh, the Excellence in Broadcasting Network of the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. Great to have you here. Telephone number, if you want to be on the program, 800-282-2882. And the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.com. No, I want to close the loop on this. This is one of these things. It ought not to, but I am incredulous. If anybody ought to, and I do understand it. I'm not surprised by it. I predicted it, but I guess it's one of those things. If we could get people to understand what's going on in this instance, it would help open eyes about so much else. So Mitch McConnell's office is bugged. That's illegal. We don't know who did it, but the beneficiary is Mother Jones magazine. They got the tapes of conversations between Mitch McConnell and his staff in their office. Now, you can't do this, folks. And we've had a president resign, essentially, over this kind of event taking place. The Democrat National Committee headquarters in the Watergate building were bugged in 1972. And when it was first discovered, there wasn't much made of it. But certainly, if there was any sympathy, it was for Sir Larry O'Donnell, Lawrence O'Donnell, or Lawrence, mental block on the guy running the DNC at the time. Doesn't matter. There was sympathy for him and the Democrats, and there was curiosity as to who did it. But nothing was gleaned from it, and it was inept in its execution, which is why it was discovered. They left tape on the locks so they could get back in a second time, and it was discovered. It took 9 months for Watergate to gin up and become what it was. Well, in this case, we have obviously a left-wing somebody bugging McConnell's office, tape recording conversations between him and his staff. Among the conversations that took place were those discussing a potential candidacy for the Senate of Ashley Judd, 2014, opposing McConnell. So McConnell's staff, McConnell sitting around talking about that possibility, strategizing how they would run against her, all of it being recorded illegally. And the tapes end up with Mother Jones magazine. They're published. And now we've got transcripts and the tapes of the staffers and McConnell talking about Ashley Judd. And the guilty party here is McConnell. The guilty people are McConnell and his staff. The tapes are considered legal, and the media is not questioning how they were obtained. They're simply focusing on what's on the tapes and using it as an occasion to once again malign and impugn the character of Republicans. All they were doing was discussing what Ashley Judd had said and written about herself and how to use it in a campaign. Larry O'Brien, the DNC head, the Democrat National Committee guy, it was his office that was broken into in the Watergate building. So, illegally obtained tapes, and the evil guy, the bad guy is McConnell. McConnell's the criminal. And again, all the staff was doing, they were just discussing things that this woman has said about herself and written about herself. And laughing about some of the really absurd things that she said. And so I want you to listen to media montage that we put together. This is not extra. This is not Entertainment Tonight. This is not TMZ. This is World News Tonight. We do have Inside Edition here, the NBC Nightly News. F. Chuck Todd, all kinds of mainstream state-controlled media journalists talking about this.
They are shocking just-released audio tapes aimed at taking down actress Ashley Judd.
Now there is a new tape scandal brewing, and this time it involves almost candidate Ashley Judd and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.
A secret tape of the Senate's top Republican It involves his campaign discussing a plan to target a possible opponent who just happens to be Hollywood star Ashley Judd.
Minority Leader Mitch McConnell can be heard plotting to crush the actress's potential campaign.
The Senate Republican leader discussing a famous potential opponent who happens to be the actress Ashley Judd.
McConnell and his political inner circle privately discussed their so-called Oppo research on how to attack Judd.
Privately, but overheard by an illegal wiretap. Not one reporter referred to the tape as illegal. They just refer shocking, just released audio tapes aimed at taking down Ashley Judd. Why, how dare anyone do that? How dare anyone try to beat Ashley Judd? How dare anybody discuss a campaign oriented toward defeating Ashley Judd? How dare they? How dare a Republican leader discuss a famous potential opponent, Ashley Judd? How dare they? Not how dare they illegally wiretap. None of that. No reference to it whatsoever. This isn't bias. Well, this is long gone bias. This has nothing to do with bias. This is the Democrat Party adjunct office in the media. This is the agenda. There's no bias here. We're so far past bias. Here is McConnell yesterday on Capitol Hill during a press conference.
Last month, they were attacking my wife's ethnicity. And then apparently also, unbeknownst to us at the time, they were bugging our headquarters. Quite a Nixonian move, much like Nixon and Watergate. That's what the political left does these days.
Yeah, it's entirely justified, Mitch, because you're a mean, rotten SOB. You were planning on beating Ashley Judd. How dare you? And in addition to beating her, you were going to use her own words. You were going to really make fun of her by simply quoting her. You're going to really make her look silly, Mitch. That's what you're not going to be forgiven for. You were going to make her look like a fool by quoting her. How dare you? Who do you think you are? What gives you the right to think you have the right to beat Ashley Judd in a campaign? Who do you think you are? By the way, we have one excerpt of the tape. This is from Mother Jones Magazine, released audio, secretly, illegally recorded campaign meeting, Mitch McConnell and his campaign staff back on February 2nd.
I think, too, she's clearly sort of anti sort of a traditional American family. She described having children as selfish, and she thinks it's unconscionable to breed. So you put that with what we'll talk to you later about her sort of pro-choice stance, and it's sort of an pretty extreme posture to take. She also is critical of fathers giving away their daughters in marriage ceremonies. She says it's a common vestige of male dominion over a woman's reproductive status when her father gives her away at a wedding.
That's Mitch McConnell's staff talking about Ashley Judd. It's a great commercial. Run that as an ad. All they're talking about is what she thinks. And that's the real problem. They dare to expose who liberals really are. You see, Ashley Judd is not an extremist. This is, if I could just get people to understand this, she's not an extremist. This is what modern liberal feminists believe. It is unconscionable to breed. Having children is selfish. She's critical of fathers giving away their daughters in marriage ceremonies. It's a common vestige of male domination over a woman's reproductive status when her father gives her away at a wedding. Do you think Ashley Judd just picked this stuff out of the air? Where do you think she heard this stuff? You think she just independently arrived at this kind of extreme, oddball thinking? Or has she heard it? Has somebody persuaded her that this makes sense? Am I what? Scared of the 24? Snurdly is asking me because it's been conveyed to me that when I get revved up like this, that I scare 24, 25-year-old women. They don't like this kind of ratcheted up talk. I probably do. What Ashley Judd thinks probably doesn't bother them at all. But the way I'm talking about it is off-putting to them. Probably so. Anyway, this is what it's all up with. The real problem here is that Ashley Judd made the mistake of actually explaining what these people think. She's not a lone wolf. She's not. This is mainstream militant feminism. This is Democrat Party feminism that she's explaining it. This is not oddball, extreme opinions held by very few people. And look, it's very important. Where did she pick this up? Do you think she just sat around and dreamed all this stuff up herself? No, she picked this up talking to people. She probably talked to feminist professors, filled her mind with this kind of stuff. And so McConnell was going to expose this. So what has to happen? McConnell, rather than debate the substance of what Ashley Judd believes there, no. We're going to destroy McConnell. We're going to impugn his character and his reputation so that whatever he says about Ashley Judd, nobody will believe. That is the objective.